Hi, I'm Brian Diltz. This is an old resume of mine from the days of dinosaurs. It is old, but it's very useful. The trouble is it's very boring. Now, there are several ways to make the most important part of my resume stand out, and I've used them all. But in the past, when we used to mail resumes, I could highlight, I could underline, and I could circle with red. Can't do that nowadays with the digital age. So what I did was I mulled on that, and I created the following grab me's. Now, there's a whole bunch of them here, and I can make as many more as I want. But what I've made it is for it to be possible to put these kinds of handwritten symbols on your resume and make it look handwritten and make it so that the human resources person or the hiring manager has to focus on your resume. Let me show you how you do this because you've already downloaded some of these. The first thing you need to do is to open your Tools window, and after you've unzipped these grab me's, you need to put them in a folder on your computer. When you put them in the folder, you next need to go to Options, File Locations, and Clip Art Pictures. Then you need to modify which folder that is so that this particular Clip Art Pictures points to your grab me's. Now, that's not absolutely necessary, but it sure makes things a lot easier. Okay, you save that and you close it. Then, when you want to use one of these grab me's, you come to your computer, you open up the document, which I'm assuming is your resume, and you click on Insert Picture from File. Now, this will automatically now point to your clip art, to your grab me file. So double click on one of those, and it appears. Now, you notice that this looks way too big, and it's easy to fix it. You just have to click on it and get it to show up. Whoops, where we are. There we are. And then you can grab it and resize it. Now, if you click it at the side, then it keeps the whole grab me in proportion. So you see it's about the same proportion it was before because I'm grabbing it here at the corner, okay, and I can make it whatever size I want. The other thing you're going to notice is that these grab me's are underneath the text. So no matter where you use it, unless you're using a black one, the text will still be visible. In this case, I've used a magenta one. And if I want to take this arrow and change the way it looks, I can not only grab a corner and make it larger or smaller, I can grab that corner, I can drag it all the way across to the other side, let it go, and I've changed the orientation of the arrow. Now, if you grab the buttons on the side for shrinking and growing it, you can grow it disproportionately, so you can grow it much longer. Okay? Or you can grow it higher, however you want to do that. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to drag it over to this side and make it, make it point over there. That probably wasn't a good idea. Oops. Come here, thing. Okay, so let me drag it over to the center. And I'm going to shrink this. Okay, there. Now I've shrunk it to a more reasonable size. One other thing I need to point out, you see that green dot? This green dot, you can use that to change the direction of the arrow. Let's say you want to point it slightly down. You can move that. You can make it point straight up, wherever you want. When you're finally done with it, all you have to do is click away somewhere else, and the arrow's there. Now, when you save this in Microsoft Word or WordPerfect or OpenOffice.org, the arrow is going to stay in its location. Of course, you're going to want to test that. But that arrow is there, and if you want to save this to a PDF file, you now have the arrow pointing where it needs to be. Using grab me's couldn't be much easier. It is about the same thing to use them in a PowerPoint presentation. You just need to go in, make sure that you bring them in. Now, in PowerPoint, sometimes these will be on top. If you want to change this grab me so that it is no longer underneath the text, then you do the same thing in PowerPoint. You go right-click the grab me, say Format Picture, and you go to this Layout tab. Right now, the picture is behind the text, and you can make it so it's in front of the text. Click on that, and then all of a sudden it will be over the text. Sometimes you want to do that, and if you want to do that on your resume, that's how you do it. If you want to do it on a PowerPoint presentation, you can change it back and forth from here, being in front of the text, which can be disruptive on a resume, to clicking on it again, Format Picture, go to Layout, and make it behind the text so that now you can read through the arrow. Now, one of the suggestions I have is that you don't want 5 or 6 of these GrabMe's on your resume. There's really probably only 2 or at most 3 things on your resume that make it so that you absolutely have to be interviewed. And that's what you want to emphasize. Don't use a bunch of these. Don't make your resume look like a clown face by using way too many of them. I've included on the free sample the 2 GrabMe's that I would want the most if it were my resume. I've got a bunch of others available, and those will be available online. But the ones that you've got are the ones that are the most important. Now go out there, use those on your resume, and see if it doesn't make a difference in how much attention is paid to your resume and people giving you a call back. I'd love to hear back from you, and I would also love to have your suggestions if you think there's something better I can do with these. I'm Brian Dilts. The website is grab-me.us, and you can also send me email at send the email to brian@dilts.us. Thanks a lot.